And then she'd go, huh, I just took care of this very hot, muscly guy.
What was wrong?
Oh, nothing. Just a giant cockroach that had to be stepped on.
Close enough. Close enough.
What's happening?
I don't know. The plane just changed direction on its own. It's flying in autopilot mode. I can't switch over to manual control.
Oh la la.
Apologies, but I cannot let you escape now.
Alfred! You cross-dressing freak!
Claire, we're in 2022. We don't call cross-dressers freaks. What's with the sexy music? Steve, don't get any ideas, please. Oh, here, okay. Steve, that's called sexual harassment. Steve, Steve. You don't do those without consent, dude. Though to be honest, is a very classic trope moment, even in fan fictions. But it's bad. It's bad. In reality, it's bad. You don't do that.
Hey, where are we?
Huh?
Latitude 82.17 degrees.
Where the hell are they going?
That's the Antarctic. We're over the Antarctic.
What?
They're in Antarctica. I don't. Wait, where are they supposed to be?
Those are the seaplanes that left the island right before us.
Then that must mean this place belongs to Umbrella.
Damn, Umbrella really likes to ruin first half end. Okay, I was saying Umbrella really likes to ruin their facilities. Like the first cutscene of the game, they were just shooting everywhere in the building, and now they just smashed a plane into it, build another building. There you go. And I don't need an ink for this. Ah, that feels good. You know what? I could just save here at the top. And it doesn't count. Starting part 2. Ooh. It is not over! Yeah! We're just at first half.
Oh. Hey, wake up, Steve.
Oh. We're still alive.
Goddamn low polygon arms. Of course. Another moment.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, plane's trashed. Well, let's split up and find another way off this oversized freezer.
Right.
Okay, let's do it.
There We're in Antarctica wearing this. Claire? You're gonna have a frozen belly button. What is that? Is that something I can interact with, or is that just a light? Okay. Let me take a little mini break, because I'm getting a little bit. Let me see this area first. That's a door. Emergency evacuation be told. Storage restricted. Guess there's only one way forward. Oh, there's two doors? Wait, no. Nope. Oh. Oh. This one? Oh. Okay, that area is open. It's dark. It's dark. I can't see nothing. Good luck with that. So I'd like to save ammo. Did I tell you about the knife? The knife. I think I did not get it from the security check box. So I don't have the knife anymore. Oh. I also don't like to be. I don't want to be close to the zombies. What is this door? Is that me standing? Or is that a zombie? Where am I? Oh, okay. I just realized where I am. I'm over there. Okay, okay. Wait. Triangle. Okay, so it's not closed off area. Oh. Shut up. I really cannot see. Oh, okay. Can I shoot you from over here? Nope, I can't. Ooh, ammo? And ink? Yes. Yes. It's okay, I have my... If I don't have the knife, I can always use that trick of dying after I've explored an area to reset my ammo. Metal shop machine. Diamond cutting edge. I can use this to process metal. Is there any herb? Ooh, herbs. Any documents? Oh, I just noticed. There was something in there. Yes, more ammo. Here we go. I really do not want to open the door. Oh, there's so many shiny things. Ugh. Alright, fine. I can't open the door. So I'm assuming I'm gonna be locked off of this area for now. But I'll come back later. La 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 la. There's a locked door. I guess I don't need to go there, but I want to check if it's... Oh, they're down there. Okay, okay. They're not up here. It's locked. Machine room. Mm-hmm. Okay, I gotcha. I'm gonna keep a mental note. There might be two or more. Wait, can I open this door? I think I can. Yes. What's she looking at? I bet this must have been Orchid's logic. What are you looking at? Oh, there's a corpse still. Okay. Okay, I can't interact with it. Oh, wrong button. This. It's not giving me any hints. I see a shiny. Ooh. I don't like the... Yes! Ooh! I messed up. Yeah. Come on, I saw some ammo right there. Ah, everybody's waking up. What can I, There's no way that room only had a couple of ammo. Just in case, so I don't use it up. He's not aiming at it. That's not the map. Come on, give me the map. Triangle. Alright. There's a door right on this. Okay, we're starting with these webs. With these lumps in the wall. More lumps in the wall. I don't like this. I don't like these. I don't want to check the noise yet. I don't want to check the noise yet. I am not checking the noise yet. Anything? Oh, Alexander's memo. Okay. My father. Oh wait, that's the dad. So Edward is the grandpa. Alfred's grandpa, okay. Edward discovered the mother virus in cooperation with Lord Spencer, who was also a nobleman. They studied it for the purpose of military use. Eventually, their study took shape. They named a variation of the mother virus, the T virus. To camouflage their research, they established umbrella chemical To camouflage their research, they established the umbrella chemical, Inc. Okay. I majored in biogenetics and have been involved with a top secret project supporting my father's research. However, my research went through a difficult phase and my father died in the middle of the project. Did you use this corpse? It's very good material. It's very good research material. You don't want to put corpses to waste. We are now at a major disadvantage against other researchers, as there is great competition in the field of T-virus research. So there are other people, not just Umbrella, during the T-Virus research. I have disgraced the honorable name of the Ashford family that our great ancestor, Veronica, established. Oh, I just realized that's why the game's called Code Veronica. If nothing is done, Umbrella will be taken over by Spencer. Okay, so it's like a different sections of the Umbrella Corps. I must expedite the project to its fullest without being detected by Spencer. So I should assume that there might be more than one side, more than one, I guess, group, but they could all be Umbrella. After much thought, I decided to establish a large-scale advanced research facility. It will be located in the transport terminal that I created by using the abandoned mine in the Antarctic. Within the facility, I'll have a room built. It will be similar to the design of my mansion, the legacy of the late Trevor. I will be able to cherish my sweet memories there. For security purposes, this confidential project will be given a code name. It is the name of the beautiful ancestor of the Ashford, Veronica. Here we go. Code Veronica, who I wish to revive so badly. They are. So I kind of. I am confident that the result of my research will be as glorious as her name, and that honor will be restored to the Ashford family once again. Yeah. Now I can't get back in here. Whoop. Num 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 num. I don't want to. It's just locked. No, keyhole can be found. Ah, that's the keyhole. Indentation. The shape of the halberd. Wait. This is a closed room. Oh. Why did that freak me out? Why? Why did that freak me out? Okay, fine. I'll push it. I don't know what I'm gonna unlock. That's the thing. That's where the noise is. I don't like the angle. Let me go save the game. Come on. Yes. You know what? I can save here. Hello, dear. Oh. Alright. I'm sorry. Butler's letter. Sir Alfred, please forgive me, as I must tell you of my abrupt departure by leaving this letter. I first served your father, Lord Alexander, and have for so long shared in the joys and sorrows of the Ashford family. Lord Alexander disappeared unexpectedly 15 years ago. Then an accident during an experiment took the life of our dear Alexia. Oh. Okay, so she died in an experiment. That's why he developed this weird personality disorder. You were forced to become the master of the family at a very young age, and nearly lost her sanity from the sorrow of having lost all of your family members at once. Oh. There was nothing I could do, and I felt powerless. I first thought that I should kill myself to apologize then I realized it would be an insult to our dear, dear Lord Alexander and Alexia in the other world. And you're also gonna be leaving a kid alone, you know? How do you, if you wanna apologize, you just should be there for him and not kill yourself. This is a weird mentality, to be honest. Scott Harmon. Filed. There is a switch. Switch. Of course. Seems to operate on electricity. No, alright, fine. Okay, I need electricity. Okay, maybe that's why this place is all dark. I need to turn on the lights. Let's go, I guess. Do I go down then? Find a generator or some sort? What is this? This seems to be some kind of nest. It's rather big. I don't think that this nest can be removed. Alright, so, because I was kind of thinking of shooting it. Because of this. It looks like it's a path that I can pass through. Alright. I guess I'm gonna... Wait. Where am I? Yeah, so I did went down. I did go down. Where do I go next then? Oh, there, no. Set of doors. Is there gonna be a cutscene? Or something? And this is just the ladder up. Oh, wrong button. No, this is the inventory. Wrong button again. Oh my god. Just this door. And it reaches... Okay, maybe that room will open up now. With a zombie inside. But no, it's asking about some metals. Locked machine room. Machine room. Can I jump down from here? No? Am I seeing something in the corner? Nothing? Okay. Yep. I can't even interact with the door. So it's definitely like some sort of cutscene that would make the zombie poop out. Poop out. Poop out the door and then he'll open it for me. What about this button? Process. This is just a processor. I need to have the... I need to have the electricity on. But where do I go? Like, I could only think of going down. Do I just try to shoot the door? That path? Wait. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button! Okay. What is this path? If I go here... plane? No. Down. Okay. This room is full of zombies. Do I need to clean up this place? Let's see. Okay, he's dead. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Ugh. Get up. Alright. Oh my god, die already! Okay, he's finally dead. Okay, I joined the Discord. It took an embarrassing amount of time. I'm so sorry about that. You know what, let me just check it a little bit, because I think I have this weird roll thingy. Because I want to try to avoid any spammers or like bots from joining. And let me see. Okay. When you get to server access, you should be able to react to the messages, and then be able to get the roles and then unlock the rest of them. Unlock the rest of the server. You know what? I'll just do it for you. And you can also like get color roles. Like you just change. You can just change your font name. Oh, I also sound very, very dead. Migraine does that to me. I hope my volume is not... Because I tend to speak in a lower volume as well. Alright, give me a second. Let me do this. What was I doing? Shut up. Damn it. Shut up. I'm playing the game. My caution. I'm gonna kill myself at some point. Some things that should work fine, just don't. Yeah, I know. Okay, let me mess around and then get myself killed. Okay, she's looking at something. I bet must have been working. Okay, what is this here? Bad. Bad. Ribbon? Oh. Map. Oh. Map. Here we go. There is something I need to do. Can go down. Wait. Why is this room still has a part that's locked up? Oh yeah, the switch inside the thingy. I need to... Okay. Okay, so I'll get access to that little square. Okay. I should have gone through this path. And then let me see. Is there something like hidden in the corners and the floor that I could pick up? Inside the locker rooms. 2 items. First aid spray. This is a treasure room. There's another item. I really should have just explored before I just had to trigger the fucking zombies. An ammo. Wait, is she looking at something? Anything else? Okay, she's looking at something here. What are you looking at? Oh, the corpses? More corpses? A bed. A bed. A bed. Okay. So I need to die and reset this progress. Oh. Oh, you know what? Instead of dying, I can do this. Wait, no. Do this. Close the game. And restart. I don't need to die. I didn't need to find a way to die. I could just like close the game and open it again. Yeah. Get over here. She's not even aiming at... Let me see if I can interact with it. A monster may have been the killer. He's looking at this. Oh! That was a path! That was an open path! That's a moth. That was a disgusting moth. No, 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 no! Resident Evil love their bugs. She can't auto-aim at the bugs, at the flying stuff. Pick it up, come on. Okay, I got 6 ribbons, so that's nice. Let me see. Push here. Then do up. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pick whatever this thing is. Come on. I'm gonna have to run. Oh, what was that? Oh! What am I? Oh, hey, get away! Blue herb is growing here. I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna... Can't I pick it up? Okay, I found the door. Hey! What was that? What was that? What was that? Oh my god, die already! Was that the butterfly or moth? Did it lay its eggs on me? Ugh. 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 Poison! The blue herbs was for the poison. I don't want to fucking use it. Fine, fine, fine. I'll use it. I don't want to lose a lot of health. Please, please, please. I shot it. They die in 1 fucking hit. Assholes. I've used the blue herb. I'm a dark caution. Assholes. Where is she? What is she looking at? She's looking up. I'm hearing the flapping. I don't need to use this now. Okay, so I basically just go back and pick it up. Yay! Stop! Blech! Ew! 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 Ah! Come on, come on! Use it! Use it! How did you mean you don't need to use it now? Oh, I think I need to wait until that egg hatches. Ugh, 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 ugh. Oh. Combine. Get away, you bitch. Where you at? I see you. Come over here. Gotcha. Moths disgust me. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, you can see it. There's something behind me at my back. Wait, let me see. Yeah, look at it. There's something growing on my back. Ugh. Enhance. Enhance. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I think it's growing a little bigger. I think. Maybe it depends on my steps. Like it's not limited to a time. Enhance too much. Yeah. There we go. I'm back. Ugh. Alright, fine. There we go. Now I'm poisoned. Now I'm gonna go back. Assholes. Assholes. They respawned! They respawned! No, 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 no. I'm gonna hate moths. Ah. I'm gonna hate real life moths. She's limping. You know what? I just saved the game. I'm okay. I'm okay with dying. I wanna just explore this area, I guess. Map. Okay, that is a door. And the other side is another door. Before I die, I wanna explore this area a little bit. See if there's any items to pick up. This is a sorting device. Uh-huh. Any... Hey, can I go in there here? There's a switch. Control panel. There's no power. I need to power switch. Push the switch. It's not ping. Okay, I need a power supply. Let me see this room. Mining room. Okay, so it should be one of the rooms over here. BOW. That's the name of the green ammo. I don't want to think of. I don't want to ask about the noises I just heard. I'm running. Ah, spiders! I'm gonna hate this place so much. I'm gonna hate this place so much. Ah. This reminds me, do you have the fire extinguisher? I don't. I actually don't. I actually do find it odd that it's empty, but the game didn't tell me to discard it. It was in the security box along with the knife. So I kind of lost it as well.
Hey, wake up, Steve.
Wait, I didn't save? In the room?
We're still alive.
Okay. You know what? You know what? I just skipped the cutscene. I can skip cutscenes. Ooh. Exit? No. I can skip cutscenes. Oh my god. Like it was this side of the touchpad. I usually press this side for the inventory. Ah. This is a weird layout. Alright, fine. Fine. I can get here. Kinda forgot to get here the first time. Let's do this. Shut the fuck up. So what you're saying is that we saw Mr. X's butt for 30 times for no reason. Maybe I pretended I didn't know how to skip so I could watch Mr. X's butt for 30 times. More bullets. Give me more bullets. Run. Ugh. You could see it laying the egg. Ugh. Oh, no. I'm not using those ammos. These are too powerful for these dumbasses. Shut up. Okay, no, come over here. Come here. Come here. There you go. What was that? Weapon. Eee, it's too dark. What's this? Mining room key. Okay, I got a key. Don't get stuck. I got stuck somewhere. Okay, good. I want to re-explore everywhere. Shut up. Should be here. Is this the normal gun? Yeah. Okay, you know what? Die? Are you dead? Are you dead? Is he dead? He's not. Okay, fine. There you go. Use the key. You no longer need it. Okay. Let's go. I don't like the echo. I can go up. I can go up. Is there a switch for the power? This place looks so empty. Hole shaped like an octagon. There's a notice. Poison gas. In case of an emergency. Seal off. There's a mask in another area. Anything in the corner? Where am I? There's another door. Oh, I just saw something. It was up there. It was shining. Oh. I guess this door will go up. This place is huge and intricate. Guess we're gonna be spending some time here for a while. Come on. What did I hear? Dogs! Dogs! No. Die, ducks. Die. Die! This game is not letting me save ammo at all. What is this place? What did I pick up? Herb. Okay. What is that green, blue light? It looks like it's from over here. What did I pick up now? Green herb. Another green herb. What is this corner? Okay. The panel's inside here. Oh. Here we go. Oh. Is this the power? Please let this be the power. There's a lever for the generator! There we go! Let there be light! Is it gonna be light? Anytime soon? Can I... Is there something in here? Anything I could interact with? No? I don't know where I don't know where I am. Oh. There is a turn over here. And... Oh. Oh. I'm at this corner. And did I walk all the way? Oh, what is this? Power has been restored. Restore electric power. Here we go. Let there be light. Oh my god. Oh, herbs. I see you, herbs, now. I can't take any more items. I don't want to use it. Oh, finally. Here we go. Green herb. Combinani. I can mix them with the two. Ooh. No. The fact that they gave me blue herbs means that there's a chance it's not only the moths that poison. And I remember the spiders puking stuff. Okay. Can I pick this one up? Yes. Alright. Because I have a feeling I'm done with this room. I won't need to come over here. So I want to make sure I pick everything in here. I don't have to backtrack. Maybe I kind of see something up there. Maybe I can't. Oh, I see you. I see you. Ammo! Yeah! Lots of ammo. Yes. Anything more? Any more? Do I interact with these cranks? Oh, wrong button. Where am I? I'm inside that section. Yeah, okay, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this room. Fun fact about this game, the director is now a farmer. Ooh. Where's the door? Is it this? Okay. Here we go. I don't like the music picking up now. Anything I can pick up here? Now that I've... Wait. Let me do this. Whoop. They're shiny. Shiny, shiny. Did I mistake it? Did I mistake the shiny for something else? Hmm. Nothing in the corners here. Oh, now that I've restored power. Oh no, I don't have the octagon shape. I'm assuming it's a wheel or a crank. I can just get back out. And I'm surprised that Claire can survive this cold. The Antarctica cold. Shut up. Oh no, I thought you died. I thought I killed you. Oh my god. Can I go up these paths like as a shortcut? Alright, fine. Fine. There we go. Oh. Here we go. Switch. Ooh, the shiny. Come on, come on. No! Come here. Where is it gone? There's a notice. Anti the handle care. Okay. I'm gonna keep moving things around until I get the shiny thing. I think that's what it's trying to make me do. Or maybe I can check another part. Maybe go over here. Oh, oh! Wait, I'm just at the other side. No, I don't need to come here. There's definitely something I need to do. I'm not gonna spam. Maybe something related to this section? Let me check the map. Wrong button again. I can't get a detailed map of this. Alright. This is the thingy. Let me do this. Let me keep doing it. I have a feeling it's just the same one. Let me see. Maybe I need to go somewhere else. I really don't need to show them, but alright, fine. Maybe I need to go here. This place should be on. Is there something I can interact with? No? Oh, yeah! Get away! Anything? Lots of chemicals. Come on. I want to interact with that box. That looks like something. No? Okay, I'm kind of stuck. I need to kill him. Wait, what? Oh! Magnum can be seen. That was the box. Fire's preventing it. Preventing me from taking it. Do I need another fire extinguisher? There's no way that this game can be broken, right? Or like soft locked, because I did not bring the empty fire extinguisher with me. Grenade launcher, ammo. I'm gonna run out of ammo, but I can go back to that safe room and press the switch. Run! Yeah! Stop! Oh, fuck! Don't lay 2 eggs on me! They laid 2 eggs! She laid 2 eggs on me! What's happening? What's happening? He's poisoned. I'm just gonna use the unlimited herbs on that part. Damn it. I'm gonna have to do this. Oh wait. Let me pick this up. Alexander's memo. We've read this. Yeah. This is the origin story. Come on. Come on. Get the cutscene. Me. Yeah. Oh, I'm dying. Oh, I'm limping. Oh. Poison's fast. Poison's working fast. I read it, everything. I know. There's a switch. Press the switch. If pushed. What is she looking at? Oh. I am so sorry for your loss, but I'm just gonna... I thought I could have my own farm, that I could just plant these green herbs and multiply it. Okay, wait. Let me check it. Slime is to be an ordinary one. I knew it. Machine room. I can go back up. Key used to open the door. Yeah, I know. Excuse me, mister. I get to pick the... Okay, I got some space now. Yeah. Do I want to save? Wait, when's the last time I saved? 24. I did not save since the cutscene of reaching here. Oh, okay. That's a lot of cigars. Alright, let's free up some space. Got this. I don't need this. Or I'll just have to run. 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 Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Yes. Don't even think about that. Fuck! Damn, they work fast! Finally, I can see this room. I think that hallway with the moths might just be worse. Worse than the dogs. Ugh. There's another item, yes. Okay, wait. There should be another ammo over here that I can pick up before the chaos. Here, you know what? You know, no. I'm not gonna use the arrows. I can use the arrows. I can use the arrows. But they're not, they're gonna take a while, but okay, fine. Come on. Do the thing. Oh wait, I still have the thing behind me. It's gonna disrupt me at some point. Come on. Come on. Alright, killed one. Now I can switch this one. I need a lot of... I need to pick up a lot of things here. Okay. Ribbon. Take the map. Yeah. Here we go. Getting hit. I don't need the ammo at the end of the the key, no longer need. Discard. Okay. Can't interact with this thing? Okay.
Claire, it looks like there's an Australian observation base about 7 miles away from here. That should be our target.
Great news. And take a look at that. It's a digging vehicle. If we break the wall with it, we might have a chance.
Okay, let's do it!
Something's gonna happen. Harsh again.
Steve, watch out!
It's toxic gas!
The gas leak. Don't worry, I know where a gas mask is. Steve, you bastard!
It's all my fault.
Yes, exactly.
Don't say that. Listen to me. We'll escape from here. Together. Come on. We've got to shut off the gas. If we split up, we'll have a better chance of stopping it.
Okay.
Yes, get rid of him.
Steve,
Do your work.
don't forget. We'll get out of here. Together.
Gotta love some Resident Evil. Some good sexual tension. There's always some. Alright, will the door... Oh. Will the door open now? No? Come on, I know there's something here. Oh my god. Okay, I did pick up the stuff here. Ooh, there's another herb. Oh my god, good. I really need the herbs. Okay, metal shop. Process metal materials. Oh, what kind of metal materials? Yet no one seems to get together in these games, despite how they're all hot. I know, right? I'm not going down. Why do I need to go down? What? Wait. Oh, I need to go down to get the gas mask. I'm gonna go to that spider room. Oh, good. I know! And she's limping. And I got poisoned. Please. I'm in danger. I'll use the spray. I'm kind of shocked you didn't lose any weight, despite all this mess. Just, I still got the thingy in my back. I want to run around until it hatches, because I will be getting poisoned right away. I don't want to leave this room. And because this is a nest, they're gonna keep breeding. I think you have to go through a door. Ah. There we go. Bastards. Yeah, fuck you! Ah, bitches. Fuck you, fuck you. Okay, they didn't lay an egg. Oh. Okay, they don't always lay eggs. They don't lay an egg every single time. Well, let me check. Anything on her back? Am I not seeing it? She's fine. Is it this door? I think, yeah. Yes. Let me pick it up. The gas leaks occurs. Die already! Ah! Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god, there's spiders everywhere! Okay, I guess I'm not supposed to be here. Okay. We can get stuck. Oh, you might need something tougher. I don't want to. Yeah, she's limping. I'm limping. I'm limping. There's something. Barcode sticker. And stick it to the box. Okay. Oh, it finally died. I'm poisoned. That's why I was limping. Oh. Oh god, I'm going through the herbs way too fast. Shut up. Get away. Oh. What's that? Bow and arrow. Keep running. Keep moving. Oh, they died. More ammo. Yes, yes, yes. Gimme, gimme, gimme. There's something else. Gimme. Gimme, you fucking assholes. Ah. I could reset. I could. I don't remember when's the last time I saved, though. Oh yeah, I saved before I went to the machine room. Give me your fucking assholes. Did I say that? I probably did. My brain is too dead. My wrist is kind of hurting now. So I need to stop the stream. I kind of did a 4-hour stream. That's good. And I do need to drive tomorrow, so I don't want to overwork my hands. I'll probably reset a little bit before the next stream and do some of this progress